Running out of time, Wargmeat. My family will be here soon. Let me out! You need me. Get me out of here, and I'll tell them what a good friend you are.
We'll come back.
Suit yourself. Sorry, every last one of you.
Over here.
He stares right past you, as if you're invisible. Or boring. You seem nothing out of the ordinary. When you turn back, there's no trace of the child.
Motherfucker! This little gremlin. I've been duped by a child.
Hold out your hand, mister. Let me show you something. Go on. Take this ring. It's lucky. Call it. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails it is! See? That's the kind of luck you get from one of my lucky rings. I've got more where that came from. Real cheap, too. Interested? Okay, fair. Let's go again. Heads or tails? Call it.
Heads this time.
Heads it is! There. Happy? Hey, hold on, you gotta pay for that. You got it. One sec. That's what I got.
Did he just bloody pocket the damn thing? Being really invisible. This ring is nothing. Oh, shovel there.
You bought some.
You suddenly feel something moving against your back and turn.
Well, this can go well. Oh, hey, it did.
You see her hand in your bags and the shame in her heart.
I got an achievement. Nice.
I can't do this anymore, Mattis. I'm sorry.
Hey, you here to trade or? Yeah, I know. I was standing right here telling her to rob you. Fine. I'm not so good at counting, but I think any percentage of 0 is 0. Look, you quarter. Good for you. You aren't a chump like everyone else around here. Now, do me a favor. Make room for the chumps.
Oh, I get to watch this. Ah, no. Oh well.
Please, let us through.
It is forbidden.
We'll come back to this. I need to go make camp, call it a night.
Make haste. I would have words with you.
Who the hell's speaking to me? Oh, Withers. Yeah, let's see what he wants.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services.
Not to be rude, but what are
There
you?
are many answers to that question. None are important.
Okay. Let's see if we can. I think it had 20? Fair enough. Fair enough. Ah. Oh my
There
god.
is a great divine energy indeed, but the source is unclear.
Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking.
Can I trust these mates?
Suspicion always haunts the guilty mind. My services are all that I can proffer thee. What thou wilt do with them is for thee to undertake. Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more.
Oh, really? You can resurrect.
Because it is my calling. There is little else to explain. A matter of coin.
200? Yeah. Oh, I can change my class.
Very well. Fate, spin. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead?
Cool. Anyways, let's see what everyone... Let's see if anyone needs to talk.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
Sarcasm. got stuff. Yeah, shame it looks fucking horrendous.
The Blade of Frontiers. Let's hope Will lives up to his name. We'll need all the help we can get.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay. That's cool. What's all this?
I've known a few warlocks in my time. Talented, of course, though sometimes too eager to listen to the devils on their shoulders. Comes with the territory, unfortunately.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevil Zariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more.
Understandable.
All right. What else is on your mind?
Oh, it's stone.
A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means. My father once said, one merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. I left him with his uncles. 5 years on, and he's flourishing. If only every child was so lucky. I mourn the ones I could never save, whose cries I never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The Frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. And it's nice to meet someone of your talents. Having a worm wriggling in my skull didn't instill much confidence in the days ahead. With you as my ally, the future looks a little less daunting. I've come to know a fair few village clerics, but none with the skill to pull these worms from our heads. From what I understand, there's a healer called Nettie in the Grove. Perhaps she's got the talent. We should pay her a visit. Make some room, and I'm all yours.
What's on your mind? I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
And then we keep a staring here as well. So, yes.
Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special.
Please just stay here.
I guess I'll spend my evenings lounging here while you do all the hard work. It sounds awful.
Well met. That's the spirit.
The Githyanki people have a word for men like the Blade of Frontiers. Shalak. Roughly translated, idealist do-gooder. Or better yet, benevolent burden. His confidence is an asset. His pursuit of valor, not so much. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir library. The library was the gift from Vlakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities. I expect I am your first. I suppose I am as alien to you as you are to me. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake.
Come on, it's not that large.
Decadent, then. Lacking in economy. Like so much of this world and its undisciplined people.
This woman.
I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
Well, I'm the party leader, so you know.
Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born. Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me. Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Just a
It
ray of
is done.
sunshine you are. Let's move it. Bedroll. Alright, let's call it a day. Let's make our rounds, start talking to people.
Finally, some good fortune. Come morning, we know what to do. The sooner we find this priestess gut, the better. Can't wait to get rid of this thing in my head. Head to Baldur's Gate. Someone's waiting for me. Let a girl have some secrets. Was there anything else?
Fair enough.
The same. These parasites are proving suspiciously benign. But suppose I turn. What would you do? Really? I'd just kill you.
Oh, aren't you just a real
Anyway,
sunshine?
get some rest. Try not to dream about tying me up.
Nah.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break? Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important. We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you diffused the tension between Zevlor and Aradin. The way you stood in front of a crossbow to prevent a murder. In short, I've grown to trust you.
Oh, that's very sweet.
The reason I make a point of saying this is that I've grown confident enough to tell you something I've yet to tell another living soul. Except for my cat.
Oh, you actually
You
have
see,
a cat?
I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly.
What's the cat's name?
The specifics are rather personal, but suffice it to say that it is a malady I've learned to live with, though not without some effort. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside. I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It's only a matter of time before my craving returns. That is why I turn to you. I need you to help me find magic items to consume. It is vital. Dare I say it? Critical. We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession.
Oh, is it
You know
enchanted
for yourself
items?
how hard won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved, or great cost. Splendid. Bit of boldness will serve us well. I'm sure we won't have to look very far to find what I need. Faerun overflows with magic-infused treasure. As do our packs, as a matter of fact. We've such an item already in our possession. Primed for the moment the need arises. I hope I can count on you. Go ahead. I'm listening. Your enterprising approach to my problem is most encouraging. But it is a delicate process to keep my condition stable. I do not yet need to consume an item, but keep it close by. It will not be too much longer. Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war.
Understandable. Have a nice day. You're pressing Y.
Tingle runs through your head and down to your feet.
Ah, there it is. That shiver. Our little brainworms have made fast friends, it would seem. How do you feel? It's natural to suffer a touch of worry, but an illithid worm should be causing more than mild anxiety. Before the illithid's unscheduled surgery, I'd felled hundreds of beasts and a fair few fiends. The tadpoles weakened me, suppressed greater talents, but beyond that, I've showed no signs of turning. No nausea, no pain, not even a hot flash.
I'm gonna turn off the HUD. Alright. There we go.
Indeed. Perhaps the worm's vat was poisoned. Perhaps we're uncommonly fit. Or perhaps the tadpoles are merely on holiday. We could conjecture all night. I suppose the why doesn't matter so much as the what next. And that answer is plain as the horns on a war devil's head. We get these things out. Let's get some rest. Dawn comes sooner than we think.
What's a war devil? Where devil?
A fine evening, don't you think? The moonlight shines warmly on us. The breeze caresses our faces. Hideous. All of it. Would that I were doing battle up there, among the tears. Look above. Watch the moon cross the sky. The tears follow behind it.
Stars.
Rocky bodies tumbling through the sea of night. One of them is my crash. Clear. Your curiosity is to be commended. Githyanki are hatched in creches all throughout realm space. Clear is one of many. It's there I first saw a Kithrak mount a red dragon. Where I slit my cousins' throats at the Vaj's command. But enough of this. You are wasting your resting time. Come dawn, we resume our search for a creche.
You know,
No.
I've been thinking,
I can
reflecting
tell.
on what tomorrow might bring when we meet this goblin priestess. Will she know how to bring the worm under control? Will this little adventure of ours be over?
Well, you miss me.
Why not? You've been to the Hells and back, survived the crash, survived everything that's followed.
Kind of.
I'm not easily impressed by people, but you're stronger than I gave you credit for.
We're not going to talk about the times I had to reload saves, but yeah, sure, we'll ride that.
A delicious thought, but the right moment. I'm sorry.
Understandable.
I need to clear my head. I'll see you later, I'm sure. Sleep tight.
Alright then. Alright. We will see you all tomorrow.